Hey again guys, this is another Guild Wars 2 PvP build with gameplay, that's what my whole channel's for. But this is our first Elementalist build guide video. I play Ellie a lot, DD Ellie to be precise. I'm pretty bad with the other Elementalist builds, the Scepter focus is really squishy, and high risk, high reward, but it's fun build. But this is the Dagger Elementalist Celestial. So I'll show you off the build. This is like Engineer, one weapon set. I'll go through some rotations. This is a very rotation focused build, and you have to know Elementalist pretty well, so this isn't really a beginner's build, although it is easy to master. Oh no, hard to learn, but once you've learned it, it's easy to be good at it. So Dagger, of course. Energy is so important for this build. Can't tell you how much this is useful in the build, but it's like the one sigil you have to have. This one can be leeching, can be doom, can be geomancy, but I prefer leeching now because of the high health and damage that it has. Then Hoelbrak runes. I'll get into why energy is useful in later. But Hoelbrak runes, of course, for the high power, since Celestial builds lack power. But because we're Elementalist, we have decent might stacking, and our cantrips grant might, so we'll have high power and still do decent damage. Then 30% might duration, and minus 20% condition duration applied to you. And then Celestial Amulet, of course. All of our stats are high except our crit damage. And yeah, so 560 to everything. Then onto the specializations, we run Fire, Arcane, and Water. If you want to go for a tankier build, you could switch out Fire for Earth. I'll get into that in a second, but you'll lose out on a lot of damage there. But I'll start with Water and Arcane first, actually. But so Water, of course, Soothing Mist is a 1,360 heal over 10 seconds. So what this means is 136 health per second passively for you and 5 allies, which is really great. This is like the Guardian heal with multiple traits all in one on a minor trait. You can increase this with Soothing Power and make it a 272 heal per second. That's up to you though, but onto this trait. What is it? You can run Stop, Drop, and Roll, so you can remove Burning and Chill when you dodge, but gain Regeneration and Frost Aura when crit. So Frost Aura minuses 10% damage and slows and applies Chill to the foe when they hit you for 2 seconds. Then, and also regen there. Then heal nearby allies when you're tuning to water. This is really nice for an extra little burst heal. The build has so much healing, so much sustain, it's just amazing. And high damage and mobility, and utility and stomps and down pressure, and this is just an all-in-one type of build. Then cantrips grant regen and vigor and reduce recharge on them. So we run 4 cantrips here. The cantrip heal is not very good for this build, but yep, 4 cantrips here, and they all grant might, regen, and vigor. Then healing done to allies is increased, a bit of nice healing from your passive and cleansing waves and your dodges. And then remove a condition when granting regen to yourself or an ally. If you feel like you have enough condition removal, or you're fine with conditions, you're not versing a condition heavy team, you're versing a power team, then definitely run Soothing Power, because it's a 272 heal to you and your whole team, which is like about 2/3 of a warrior signet, or a bit more. But I'm going to stick with Cleansing Water for now. Then Arcane, we run gain 3 when you switch attunements. That's a minor trait, it's a bit nice for your first hit. Will be a crit, it's good for fire, so you can switch to fire and then quickly get a fire grab off if there's a burning foe, and that will increase your crit chance. Then gain vigor when you crit. This is permanent, so more vigor equals more dodges equals more evasive arcana, the best trait for Elementalist, to be honest. But yeah, so you'll be always critting, to be honest. Like, a lot of you attack so fast and so many times that at least one of them will crit every 5 seconds. Then when attuning to an element, you gain a boon, so like it's based upon the attunement. So fire is for damage, that's might. Water is for healing, that's regen. Air is for mobility, so that's swiftness. And earth is for defense, so you gain protection. Then gain a boon when you're struck, based on your attunement as well. So fire is retaliation, air is fury, earth is protection again, and water is vigor. Getting hit in water is really good because the vigor is really nice, so we have massive vigor uptime. vigor also from our cantrips. So yeah, that's why our vigor uptime is so high. Then boon duration is increased and attunements recharge faster, a really great minor trait there. And then evasive arcana, so this is a bit of a hard trait to explain, but whenever you dodge you cast a spell based on your attunement. So on fire, when you dodge you basically apply 2 stacks of burning, which is nice pressure. Try not to waste your dodges in fire attunement. On water you do the water 5, so you heal that much and remove a condition. So this is massive healing, massive condition removal for you and all your allies. Then lightning is pretty bad for the evasive arcana, it just blinds nearby foes. Earth is really good, it's a blast finisher and it bleeds for 20 seconds and does a bit of damage there. So the blast finish is really good for also might stacking and just healing if you can, but it's usually used for our might stacking purposes. So that's evasive arcana there. Fire, we run gain power while in fire, so that's why our power is a bit higher. You use the fire cantrip when you have 3 conditions on you, so that's more might, more regen, more vigor, and it burns nearby foes. Burning is also good for the build because you blind nearby foes when you burn. No, you blind foes that you burn, sorry. Then inflict damage at your location when you attune to fire, and you get a fire aura. This has no cooldown, and fire aura is really good. Then deal more damage while attuned to fire. Once again, fire is for damage, and reduce recharge on all the fire skills, which is really nice. Then deal more damage to burning foes. Foes will almost always be burning because of Drake's Breath, or burning speed, or your fire. Nearly all your fire skills burn foes, and this cantrip also burns foes. And there, here we go, blind foes that you burn, so you have high blind uptime, and it just messes up your opponent's skills and rotations there. You could run persisting flames because this will be a massive fire field that you can blast with multiple things, but blinding ashes is great. If you want to go for a more tankier route but much less damage, you can run earth, gain toughness while attuned to earth. Then earth's embrace, which is another cantrip when you reach 50%, gives you all those boons. This is a really great trait. So I just procs this, by the way. Then damage foes and cripple when you attune to earth. This is nice. Gain stability when attuning to earth, so you can attune to earth while stomping just to avoid the CC. Or you can run Geomancer's Training there, just for the earth weapon recharges, but Rock Solid's better. And then, of course, where is it? Stoneheart. So you could run Signet of Restoration and then maintain the passive effect of Signets when you activate them. So this is a 20-second cooldown, 3500 heal, and you still keep the passive. Or run Stoneheart so you can't be crit while in earth, but that's a more tankier route. We're going to stick with fire here. And yeah, so those are the traits and the weapons and everything. I showed off the utilities already, so Restoration, Signet, Lightning, Flash, Armor of Earth, Mist Form, Tornado. You can't really switch out anything, this is all needed for the build. If you're feeling you're facing too many conditions, even though we have so much condition removal, you could run Cleansing Fire instead of Mist Form. And Tornado is just more for the cantrip. You can run Fire a Greatsword for mobility. But I'll show off the rotations here. I'll be right back in a second. Okay, so when you start a fight, you want to always start with Burning Speed. This is a massive damage skill that leaves a fire field that you can blast, and it's an evade, and it also burns your foe. So you start with Burning Speed and then Ring of Fire. Then you can either Drake's Breath and Fire Grab, switch to Water, Water 3, Earth 4, for the blast, and dodge with your evasive arcana trait for another blast. This will put you up at about 9 stacks of might, 10 stacks. Then you can switch back to air and then auto pressure. So your auto attacks heal you a lot thanks to Signet of Restoration, and air is the best to auto attack with because it does actually high damage and AoE pressure. You don't really use air 2 very often, but if your skills are on cooldown you can. Air 3 is great skill, so it stuns a foe when they hit you, so it's great for messing up their rotations. And then Air 4, Air 5 is a little combo you can do, I'll show you here. Air 4, Air 5, and then switch to Fire, Fire 3, right into them, like that. And they get blinded, then you can put your fire field out, and then get all your blasts off here. So see, the evasive arcana gave me a free blast. Then you always want to use this in a fire field, because then it will burn your foes, so it's a long range little immobilize which is unblockable, and then you can leap to your target again. and then once you leap to your target, pop this skill, which bleeds foes with rocky spikes. This is churning earth, so keeps you like still for 3.5 seconds, which is quite bad. So you can use it out of a fight and then blink in with a fight, and it will still go off. I'll show you here.
Time to do some real
So
damage.
blink also deals damage, by the way. So blink onto a target, and then your turning earth will go off and get some nice pressure down. Then you can do the switch to fire, fire 3, fire 4, fire 2, fire grab, and we get some high stacks of burning there too. As you see, we hit about 1 to 2k ticks for burning. And water attunement has a big heal that actually deals decent damage, and the auto attack's really bad, but it gives vulnerability. The 3 is a blast. The 4 gives you frost aura. That's all it does for 7 seconds. This is great to use in the start of a fight because your opponents will be chilled insanely high. This has a 1 second internal cooldown. Switch to water whenever you're low and you can get massive healing. I'll try and show that off here. I'll go and attack something. I'll just let the mesmer hit me. But yeah, you can see like we're taking damage here, and then we can just heal up instantly with the evasive arcana and the cleansing wave, and then just our massive healing. So yep, here, and then just cast all your skills and you benefit from Signet of Restoration. And use this in the fire field, and then we can just cast this because it's an NPC. While you're casting Churning Earth, your Earth 5, you can pop Shocking Aura, so when they hit you they get interrupted and they just stand there, and then they'll eat the Churning Earth.
I summon the power of Earth.
And yeah, so those are some simple rotations. Don't just spam your skills in random orders. Try and predict what your opponent's going to do and use your skills accordingly. This is not an easy build. You have to know what you're doing and know how to play Elementalist, but it has very, it's quite safe. Like, use Lightning Flash offensively or defensively to get to places. It can be used as mobility. Armor of Earth is great for your for the massive boons it gives you, and then Mist Form is great if you're getting bursted down. It's a 3-second invulnerability. And then Tornado, of course, is just a big health bonus, pretty much, because it's pretty useless. It can knock back foes here. I usually set it to 3. And you can knock foes around. You can blind foes as well. You can damage them too, but that's not too useful. Yeah, you can see here, it's not the greatest. But yeah, that's how you play the Dagger Elementalist build. I'm not going to show off a gameplay for the build because it's a bit too complicated and that wouldn't help. But hope you guys enjoy it. Check out my other videos and remember to subscribe.